want to limit it. And finally, we have a user performance report available, which will allow you to see compliance and how the users are doing as far as total dosages completed. And you can change the specs on the left-hand side here, again, to see specific draw types, chart options, and a date grouping. Okay, under the Forms tab, this is identical to the patient's chart where we went over where you can add forms to the patient's record. This would be globally for your practice. So let's say you have a patient education packet that you use for all of your patients. You can upload that here so that it's accessible in the program for all of your users. And you would, again, click the upload form and provide a description and browse to where that document is saved on your computer. The PST tab, you see that lighting up. This program was designed to work in tandem with the MD-INR program. It was created as a companion piece. So because of that, when a patient becomes eligible for home testing or for patient self-testing, that you'll see that tab light up as well as the message display over on the right-hand side here. Because it was just alerting you that they're eligible. It's not a requirement. You do not have to, by any means, sign that patient up for self-testing. The program is just simply alerting you to that. If, however, you did decide that you're ready to set them up for home testing and you wanted to use LinkCare, you can click on the Patient Self-Testing tab, and a physician order form is here for you. And it will pull in and display all of the information that's on that patient's record for you. It'll pre-fill it. And then it provides you with a fax number to send it to. Again, completely optional, not a requirement. And the Help tab, this is how to get in touch with us. Our mailing address here listed is our headquarters in New Windsor, New York. I, however, am located at the phone support line in Clearwater, Florida, at this 800 number, 800-293-3730. If you have any questions about the program, you can reach me at that number. You can also reach me by email at support@mdinr.com. Currently, the web support and the remote support features are not turned on. If they do become turned on again, we would send out separate notification. All right, so we're going to go through an actual dosing example to show you how that works within the system. Again, you can either work on your patients through your MyCT screen if you have them assigned to you, or you can work on the item directly through the patient's chart. We're going to go ahead and work on it through the chart for today's example. We're going to click on Dose Patient. All right. Excuse me. You have the option to pick your tablets. So you can pick a tablet size. You can filter that across so that it populates for the entire week. You can type in these if you want to change them. And it will update your weekly total. You can give it a weekly total. And then it will calculate back for you the tablet dosing for each day based on your weekly total. You can adjust a second tablet or remove it, depending on the patient's treatment. In this screen, you can also view dosing history. So if you had a particular regimen that you performed for the patient that you liked or that was effective, you can actually select it, and it will fill that information in for you. The Suggest Dosing module, if you have uploaded and given a dosing suggestion and one is available, it will allow you to use the worksheet to calculate how that patient should be dosed for that particular INR and for their next course of treatment. You can choose alternate dosing, which will allow you to have a pattern. and it actually overrides what's up here in the tablet chart and will actually display on the patient's dosing calendar. The patient instructions, we looked at that a little earlier with the user preferences, where you can actually set commonly used phrases. You'll see these radio buttons off to the side here, and you can see that I've set up several. These patient instructions are viewable on the patient's dosing calendar, whereas the comments below are internal clinical comments and are not viewable to the patient on their documentation. You can schedule the next INR date, check the schedule, see who's on for a particular day to avoid conflicts. You can schedule them by either choosing a date on the calendar, or you can choose the number of weeks that you want to schedule out for the appointment. We're going to go ahead and leave it at 1:15:16. Our next draw type, we want them to come in, so we're going to schedule them for point of care. And we want them to come into our downtown location. We're going to assign the next step, which is notify the patient, to the CoagTrak administrator so that you can see how that works in the workflow process. And we're going to print the dosing calendar. We're not going to mark it as complete just yet because we're not done. So we'll hit save. And you see that the patient dosing calendar is now displayed, and it shows their tablets. You can see that alternate pattern that we put in, as well as the instruction, take 2 tablets, and then their next INR due date. You can print this out and provide it to the patient, or if they're not in your office, you can actually mail it to them. So now you see that our status changed to notify patient, and if I go to my MyCT screen, because it's assigned to me, you'll see that same activity. So we're going to go ahead and notify the patient, and you can see that information is displayed concerning the patient, the INR date, the INR value, the target range, so this can all be reviewed. You can see the dosing schedule, the quick dose instructions. We can view the dosing history again if we need to. We can also redose. So say we need to make an adjustment before we notify the patient, we can do that here. The same process applies. Choose your tablet, add or remove a tablet, schedule your INR. We can print the dosing schedule or the patient dosing calendar again if we need to, or at this point we can mark it complete. Right now we're going to click on options, and this is part of the notification. So you can add a comment. Maybe you called the patient. By moving the screen over just slightly, you can actually see the patient's phone number. So you can call them, add your comment, mark as complete, and save. Or if you need to send them a letter, you can print the letter. And we're going to go ahead and mark it complete at the same time and hit save. And you'll see the notification letter. And down at the bottom, it does indicate that the dosing schedule's included. You can, again, remove that from the customization if you'd like, but that will allow you to insert the patient dosing calendar with your mailing. So we'll close that, and you can see now that Jack Frost has been removed from my work list. And if I go to his chart, you can see that the dosing has been completed. We can view the patient comments. We can print a visit summary of what occurred during that visit. We can view the details, that the result was added, patient was dosed, and letter was printed. And we can view the letter if we needed to print it again, or if we just needed to view it. That concludes our demo of CoagTrak. If you are interested in signing up for the program, you can call 1-800-293-3730, or you can send me an email, again, at support@mdinr.com, and I'll be happy to assist you and help you get set up and get started with the program. Thank you for attending.